So with the release of Ghostbusters Afterlife, Hasbro released a range of roleplay toys for young children. This is an example of one of them here. It's the Proton Pack, and this caused quite a bit of outrage in some of the collectors groups. Words like trash, junk, garbage were thrown at it, because nothing says you're a collector more than shitting on toys aimed at 5-year-olds. But a lot of people said the Proton Pack we had in our day was better. Now, I remember playing with the old Kenner Proton Pack back when I was young, come out in the 80s. I'm sure a lot of you watching this had it as well. Was it better? Are we just blinded by nostalgia? And I thought that's what we would take a look at today. So, I have the range here. So the original Proton Pack, let's find where the box for this is, came in this lovely box, and you got the Proton Pack, the Neutrona wand, the PK meter, and armband. Now, Hasbro released their things separately, so you had to buy the Proton Pack, the Neutrona wand, and the PK meter all separately. Now, price-wise, I was looking up prices. This lot combined, these three new ones combined, would cost you about £80 roughly, give or take, depending on where you buy them from. The original Proton Pack prices I found online ranged from about £20 to £23. So basically, with inflation and all that, that's basically the same price. So it's very comparable. So let's start by taking a look at the Proton Pack itself. Now, the new Proton Pack didn't come with a Neutrona wand. Now, a lot of people said that was a weird decision, which I do tend to agree with, but I assumed it was because they did another Neutrona one. It's called the Mod Blaster, and I thought that it was a good idea, so you can choose whether to have the cheaper wand or the bigger wand. But it turns out the bigger wand doesn't actually fit with the Proton Pack, so it doesn't actually make a lot of sense, because it just seems silly to have the Proton Pack without the wand. They come out at the same time, so why not just sell them together? Because you're going to buy them together. The Proton Pack without the wand is a bit weird, I think. But, you know, whatever. Doesn't really matter. So, yeah, there's that. But let's compare the Proton Packs for a second before we move on to comparing the other parts. So let me just pull these apart here. Here is the Retro Proton Pack versus the new Proton Pack. Now, size-wise, they're pretty much the same, because they are aimed at the same sort of age group. Now, the old one, it feels a tad lighter to me, but it feels bulkier. It definitely feels more sturdy. Now, one thing you'll notice if we look at the back of them is they haven't put a back on this new one. They've put it on the old one. Now, of course, that doesn't really matter, because, you know, when a kid's wearing this, it's going to have the back towards their back. You're not going to see that back. But I would imagine this is probably a more comfortable version than that one, basically. Now, detail-wise, this is obviously based more on the movie pack in terms of detailing. This is based more on a cartoon pack. This would also have stickers, I should point out. This is a mint one without any, with the stickers are still on the sheet, and I'm not applying them. But detail-wise, I think this one probably has the more detail, looks better generally. But this feels, this just one feels sturdier to me, and I feel like this one could take more abuse than this one, particularly this bit here. Although it does actually feel quite strong. I feel like this one feels stronger. Now, the PK meter could actually be put in here as well, and this one does have a holder, which is this one. This doesn't. This one's quite flimsy. I feel like this could break easy if you got it caught on something. But again, I'm not 100% sure on that, but both would be really good for modifying as well if you were into that sort of thing. So that's the two Proton Packs. Now, again, I think they're both pretty good. I mean, obviously, I lean towards the old one because of nostalgia, basically. That's always going to be my number one in terms of the more kids' toys when it comes to Proton Packs. But let me know what you think is the best out of both of those. Like I said, I think the main weakness on this is the back looks a bit rubbish. But and the straps, should have compared the straps. The straps probably do feel a bit sturdier than the old ones, to be fair, like a bit thicker. But let's look now at the wands. So here is the new wand, and here is the classic wand. Now, one thing that sticks out immediately is the classic wand has the wire attached, which goes into the bottom of the Proton Pack. This doesn't have any wire attached, and no way to attach one unless you obviously go down the modifying route. Which I'm sure some people would. I wonder if that's a health and safety thing. Like, I could be completely wrong about that, but you know, we live in a world now of health and safety gone mad, so maybe they just didn't want kids with big wires hanging between the gun and the pack. Who knows? But the interesting thing about this wand is this has part of the proton stream, and you can move that by rotating the grip, which is a pretty cool feature, I think. And again, this is based more on the look of the movie wand, not the cartoon wand like this one. Now, to replicate the proton stream with this one, you had this piece of foam, which would go in. Then you would try and catch the ghosts with that stream, and also had this trigger on the bottom. Try and replicate, you know, the sound of the proton gun shooting out. Now, which one is better? Now, I prefer the not having anything coming out of this personally, because I'm not sure if I said that right, but this is a permanent fixture having this in. I mean, I'm sure you could cut it out or something, but see, now when I was a kid, just talking about the lightsabers for a second, which isn't Ghostbusters. I don't know if you remember the lightsabers that you could flick and then they would extend out. But a lot of the earlier ones actually had half of the lightsaber blade already out anyway. And I always thought that was ridiculous. It's like, why not just have that part inside in the handle, so you only had the handle and then flick it and the blade comes out. They couldn't do that because of the electronics inside, I guess. Stuff's advanced since then, but I used to hate that. It just used to look ridiculous to me, even as a kid. And I think I would have felt the same about this, having this constant proton stream coming out. I mean, it definitely looks better than the foam one, but I think at least, you know, you could have this on your back, you could get it out whilst you're hunting for ghosts and not have it all, you know, out all the time. So when you want to actually shoot the stream, you can just put that on and then take it off as and when you need it. So I'm trying to get into the mind of what I would have been like as a kid, basically. So let me know what you think about that as well. Again, this is based more on the cartoon wand. So I guess it depends what you're after. This one looks more detailed in many aspects. Again, this doesn't have the stickers on. But again, I think they're both great. I think people have been a bit unfair to the new ones, especially as I'm comparing them now. I definitely prefer having the wire between the wand and the pack. That would, yeah, I could be wrong about the health and safety thing. But let's compare the PKE meters now. And again, they're based on different ones. So you've got this one come with the original pack, and then this one is the PKE Shocker that we saw in Ghostbusters Afterlife. Which is so it's some completely different items, really, to an extent. So let's just take a quick look at the original. You had this thing that spun on top, and you could control that with the dial on the back. You could turn this. Obviously, you had the screen, which would have had a sticker of the ghost on. And yeah, really cool. Also had a belt loop, but again, you could actually put that in the Proton Pack if you wanted. Although I used to like having the this, so you could actually hang it on your belt. I thought was cool. Now, when we look at the new one, obviously this is based on the movie one. It's quite different, and has this little button on the bottom, so you can actually push that up to bring the wings out. And then if you want it in shocker mode, you push it up again to bring that into shocker mode. This one feels chunkier than the other one. It feels heavier. Now, one thing about this one was, I know a lot of these broke, these parts here, and if you look these up on eBay, you'll find a lot of people selling them broken, so very fragile. This one, I mean, I'm sure these will break off easily if you play it quite hard, but this one just feels sturdier. So, yeah, I think I would have preferred this one to this one as a kid, generally. But again, you know, I don't know. I don't know how I would have felt. I've just noticed, I've not opened this one, but I can actually see a belt clip on this one as well, so you can have this one from your belt. So yeah, like I said, I'm trying to get into the mind of what I would have thought as a kid rather than now. And I think I would have preferred this one. But again, you know, you can't say for sure because, you know, you're a different person back then. But that's just a comparison of the new and the old Proton Packs. I'd love to know what you think of them. Do you prefer the old ones? Or maybe you prefer the newer ones? I mean, and I would like to know, like, were you around in the 80s? If you were around in the 80s, you probably did prefer the older one. If you're like a younger viewer, maybe I'm just interested to know, do you still prefer the old one, or are you more into the newer ones? It'd be really interesting to know. But, you know, it's just a comparison of those. I'd love to know what you think. But anyway, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, keep on busting.